Yeah, no, I definitely didn't picture myself running this election cycle. I mean, I ran 2 years back, but when I realized that only two people had made the ballot for this April, and that none of them shared my values, I believed it was important to step up as a write-in candidate to give voters an alternative in this election. I think one of the biggest, I guess, motivations to run, besides representing strong, support for public education, was some of the current challenges that the school district faces. I study public administration at UW-La Crosse, and definitely the school district is facing a public administration challenge currently with a structural deficit, and definitely since I support so many values, the structural deficit pushes back key investments in retaining and hiring teachers, investing in education. So overall, it was just a concern about the quality of education provided to students. I mean, I'm not going to go into the role with a specific, set agenda saying I have all the answers. I know there's a lot of great people in the community and a lot of great people in our school district who have laid out a number of plans to move the school district forward. I think, one of the best steps currently is, they're putting the referendum question on the ballot. I think that, it's important to move the school district forward, but in order to do so, I think what we need to do is communicate why of so many different plans that have been put forward, why that specific one is the best for our students. I believe it ultimately comes up to the community, whether or not. I mean, like, public schools are a bedrock, of the community, and no one wants to close schools, but it really comes down to whether or not, like, the voters believe that that is the best option forward. Because you're either having to consolidate schools because we simply don't have the money and we don't have the enrollment numbers to meet that, or you have to ask voters to raise their property taxes to meet the deficit. I think regardless, no matter what, you have to take a step forward. Otherwise, you're just kicking the can down the road and making it harder on the community in general. The deficit keeps going on, more stuff gets delayed. So the longer we push it off, the longer we push off this decision, the harder it is, or the more harm there will be to the educational quality given to students. No decision's perfect. No solution is going to be like the Goldilocks perfect. We've solved it magically. There'll be people on both sides, but the longer we put it off, it's like we simply just don't have the money. So it's like, why stay? If you're an educator in La Crosse, why stay in a district that can't give you raises that you want? Or if you're a new teacher, you just graduated from UWL as a new social studies teacher, why stay in the district? Why teach when other districts are more competitive? So as long as we don't solve the structural deficit issue, the more harm is put on students, and the more damage to the district long term. I would look at where the money's going. So either if you're raising revenues, or closing schools to decrease costs, my biggest priority is, where does that money go? Is it just we're just barely breaking even, or is it that we're making strategic investments into the classrooms? Are we providing enough support staff? Are we able to attract new educators? Are we able to make strategic investments into educational resources? So ultimately, my baseline priority is, what is the end product? What is the school district able to provide for the students? I definitely think one of the big things, or I guess there's two things. One is just public education in general. I am a very strong proponent of public education. I am a product of public education. I come from a union household. I was a member of the union myself. I definitely believe that public education with unionized labor is one of the best ways that we can go for building strong and healthy communities, and whether that be in the policies that the school board sets or in advocating to state and federal officials, making sure that that is top of mind. Additionally, I think trying to give students more kind of educational opportunities is the second big thing that I try and advocate for. I mean, I would say having the public administration background is a big one. I think people should write me in because I was one of the first candidates to declare. I mean, this isn't a last-minute decision, and that I have gained the support and endorsement of a number of civic organizations.
Do you want to say some of the organizations?
Yeah, I've been endorsed by the College Democrats of Wisconsin as well as the La Crosse County Democratic Party. I would say just generally, like, it's just important to vote. I mean, the people that we put into school board have a number of really important decisions to make, and it's important that we put people onto the school board that reflect our values.